She thought she buried the curse, but some mirrors remember their masters. What happens when a stylist reflection starts whispering her name? The Mysterious Stylist Episode 3. The salon was silent that night. Grace stood before the mirror, the red comb wrapped in cloth on the counter. "You will not control me," she whispered. But the mirror rippled, like something behind it was breathing. The fluorescent lights flickered twice, and a faint hum filled the air. She grabbed her bag and turned off the lights, her heart pounding. Outside, the wind dragged dust across the empty street. Even when she reached home, she could still hear it, the soft sound of brushing, as though someone was coming here beside her window. Her mother's voice broke the silence. "Grace, are you awake?" Grace forced a calm tone. "Yes, Mama." "Don't let fear eat your gift," her mother said gently. "When a blessing turns heavy, prayer must lift it again." Grace smiled faintly, whispering a shaky amen. She wasn't sure if prayer could tame a spirit born from beauty. Sleep came in fragments. She dreamt of hair that turned into snakes, of mirrors cracking open to reveal eyes that blinked at her. Each time she woke, sweat drenched her sheets. At dawn, she gasped, the red comb lay unwrapped beside her pillow. She screamed, backing away. "Mama!" Her mother rushed in. "Grace, what is it?" Grace hid the comb quickly. "Nothing. Just a bad dream." But her hands wouldn't stop shaking. She wrapped it again and hurried to the salon. Her assistants were sweeping, and Neko looked pale. "Madam," Neko whispered, "the mirror broke before we came. Nobody touched it." Grace's pulse quickened. "Did anyone get hurt?" "Uju's hand," Neko said. "She said she saw a woman in white crying before the glass shattered." Grace bent down and touched the shards. A strange mark, drawn in ash, glowed faintly beneath. She quickly covered it with a towel. "Don't tell anyone what you saw." Before Grace could speak again, a sharp knock sounded. She opened the door and froze. A palace messenger stood there, his robe soaked in mud and sweat. "Madam Grace," he panted. "Her Majesty requests your presence immediately." Grace frowned. "At the palace? Why?" "She had a nightmare," the man replied. "Your name was on her lips when she woke." The assistants exchanged frightened glances. Grace took a deep breath, picked up the wrapped comb, and followed him. The walk felt endless. The road to the palace was lined with trees that seemed to whisper her name. When the gates opened, drummers were silent. The guards bowed lower than usual. The queen sat on her golden chair, her hair loose, her eyes red and tired. "Grace," she said softly, "since you styled me last, I have not known peace." Grace knelt. "My queen, has something happened?" The queen's voice trembled. "Every night, I dream of a woman brushing my hair. She wears white and holds your red comb." Grace's breath caught. "My queen, perhaps it's worry." "Silence," the queen said sharply. "You will stay in the palace until the dreams end." Grace bowed, her heart racing. As she lifted her head, her eyes met the mirror behind the queen's throne. In it, a reflection smiled, but she wasn't smiling. That night, the palace gave her a guest chamber lit with golden candles. Grace laid the wrapped comb on the table and prayed. But as she whispered her last amen, the candlelight dimmed, and a woman's laughter echoed from the mirror. Grace turned. The mirror showed her sitting still, but her reflection was brushing her own hair with the red comb. She stumbled backward, whispering, "Stop. Leave me." The reflection didn't stop. It smiled and mouthed, "You can't escape what you awakened." The candles went out, leaving only moonlight. Grace ran from the room, her steps echoing down the marble hall. A guard intercepted her. "Madam Grace, are you all right?" I saw something in the mirror." He frowned. "Everyone sees something strange here lately," he said. "Even the queen hears footsteps when she sleeps." Grace's eyes filled with tears. Something wants me here. But I don't know why. That night, she could not close her eyes. From the queen's chamber came soft laughter again, a voice that wasn't human. Grace opened her door slightly and saw light flickering beneath the queen's door, and a shadow moving on its own. Grace entered quietly. The queen was asleep, but a woman in white stood beside her, brushing her hair with the red comb. "Who are you?" Grace whispered. The woman turned slowly. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow. "You gave me beauty, Grace. Now I'll give you truth." The mirror behind them cracked, spreading lines like lightning. Grace screamed, and the comb fell from the woman's hand, landing at Grace's feet. When she looked up again, the woman was gone. The queen woke with a gasp. "Grace! What happened?" Grace fell to her knees, trembling. "Your Majesty, she's real." Outside, thunder roared over the palace. The red comb paused faintly in the candlelight, alive again.